in this evening session.
The voice himself,
just Stefan Stoiker overcoming Mark Frost earlier on this evening. Will we have another? Well, Holger Rettig is making his European Tour debut, and I for one think he's up against it. Steve West is his opponent in this one. Steve West, a man who's reached the second round on 2 occasions in Europe this year, including a 6-3 win over Mervyn King in Vienna and a 6-4 defeat of Kyle Anderson in Gibraltar as well. On his day, a very, very capable player. And Paul Nicholson, I think West should have far too much for Rettig in this one.
He should, shouldn't he?
Should do. I say should.
But I was in Vienna when he played Mervyn King, and that performance was exemplary. His doubles were great. He power scored in that game, and I think he had the highest average in that session of about 101, 102, and it was very, very impressive performance. So when you're beating players who are, of the caliber of Kyle Anderson and Mervyn King, you've got to be doing something right. I mean, Steve is an exceptional dart player, but sometimes he goes a little bit missing. But when he clicks, he is destructive. I just get a feeling tonight he will feel comfortable with this stage because he has done it this season, got the job done, and the pressure is on Steve, but I think he's up to it.
Yeah, I think so as well. Certainly Holger Rettig hasn't got a great deal of pedigree behind him, it has to be said. 34 years old, has previously played in PDC events in Germany, the Players' Championship tournaments in Germany over the course of 2008 and 2009. Didn't win any prize money in any of those, though. But he did beat Rene Idams 6-2 in qualifying. That's a fairly standout result, given what Idams has achieved. Idams caused Michael van Gerwen all sorts of problems in Munich, I think, earlier this year, in a 6-3 defeat. So, if he takes the ball by the horns there and seizes the moment and takes his opportunities when they come along.
Well, Idams has been playing really well this year. Of course, MVG problems at the World Championships too.
Of course, yeah. That's a terrific fight back at Ali Pali. I mean, that would have been some story, wouldn't it?
Idams has been really sort of trying to play more professional tournaments as well, get more experience. So he'll have stepped into the room last night at the qualifiers thinking, this is for me to get through. But Holger Rettig, we've got to give him credit. He took him out in the first round.
West also reached the second round in Mulheim last September. He beat Dave Pallett in his opening match there, and Pallett at the time was playing well. Pallett was a semi-finalist in Europe last year.
140.
That's what Steve West was doing against Mervyn King, just finding that first dart, and when he does, it gets ridiculous at times. It really does. Nice throw. 100. Holger's got.
Yep.
Nice and slick. Lots of nice movement.
Well, I think Holger, what he needs to do, okay,
83.
West is throwing first here, but hold his throw for as long as he can, stay in contention for as long as he can, and then if the opportunities come their way to break, pounce on them.
81.
What he's got to do is he's got to stop hitting those ones, stay straight, and be more dangerous.
Game show the first leg.
Than 81s.
Steve West.
But that's clinical from West.
Second leg, Holger to throw first.
Yeah, 16 dart leg from West to kick things off.
I think if he had 6 16 dart legs, I think that might get him a 6-0. That's a steady 94 average.
Yeah, against a player of Rettig's caliber, I think it would be. Nicknamed the Gun, Holger Rettig.
60.
Holger Rettig even. Maybe we'll find out why over the course of the next, 10 minutes or so. Hope we do. It'd be good to see the German crowd have something to shout about again after Stoiker's win earlier.
I've never seen anybody on TV or in the darting fraternity called Holger.
Holger.
That's a new name.
Well, there's Holger Badstuber, the German centre-half footballer, not a darts player, obviously. But, yeah, that's the only Holger that I know.
Good call. I knew he was a Backstuber. I didn't know he was a Holger.
Yeah, maybe.
97.
I think he plays for Dortmund. Elmar Polka will point me in the right direction in a moment or two.
100.
Well, West here down to 2-4-1. Hasn't quite wrestled the darts from Rettig here.
Rettig, as well as taking
out as well. It's only 20 points on the floor, but sorry.
Yeah, Holger taking out Michael Doppling and Marcus Flo on his way to getting here. So 3 games already. that he's played to get to play Steve West, who took out Jamie Lewis and Andy Smith on his way here. So 2 good wins for Steve. It's such a comfort being a seed. You know, you've got to see all these guys who play 2, 3, sometimes 4 games to get through.
60.
The seed turns up on a
Stevie
Saturday morning.
141.
And he's already in the money.
Yeah.
But those guys deserve to be there.
Well, that's it. And we talked about Adrian Lewis dropping down the Pro Tour Order of Merit as far
61.
as the seedings are concerned for these European Tour events. Out of the top 16 now, former European champion, struggling to make his way back into the European Championship frame, as we discussed earlier. Now then, West
44.
down to 80 here.
Stevie require 80.
I'm sure Adrian Lewis will want to do something about that really, really fast. He's won the European Championship before, and we'll want to again. Steve
60.
West had to switch across the hockey
You require
for that shot.
140.
Well, this could be quite tricky to get yourself into the match.
Well, that's part 1 accomplished. That's part 2. Double 10.
126.
That's what we could call a flyer.
Stevie
flyer.
require 20.
It was in a different postcode, that one, Paul.
Yeah, that one was in Austria.
Double
5s.
5 then for West.
15.
And he split that one as well, so maybe a let
You
off here for
require
Holger.
14.
What he doesn't want to do is start missing doubles against the underdog,
Well, he's
because that'll
come
give him
inside.
confidence.
Double 2 then.
Game Sean
That'll
second
do.
leg.
That will do.
Rettig.
A 24 dart
Third
hold
leg,
of throw.
Steve to throw
He'll
first.
take that.
Game on.
Hold of throw is a hold of throw. Steve West, after a very good start with a 16 dart leg, will be livid that he's given away that leg.
45.
Yeah, could so easily have been 2-0. Instead, we are level at 1 apiece here. And West just kicking off with a 45. Now, Rettig needs to seize on these sorts of situations as well. And he's done precisely that. That's exemplary darts.
Well, he's starting to get some confidence, I think. We were talking earlier about the Players' Championship events.
182.
Players' Championship events that they used to play in Germany before the European Tour started.
140.
This is turning into a pretty good leg now. Anybody could have entered those. There was before the tour card, before having to qualify for the tour. You could just turn up as a dart player.
60.
As long as you paid your money a week or 10 days in advance, you could go. And he tried. But this is 7 years later.
Still there.
He's probably more experienced.
57.
Plugging away. And he's, well, down to a finish first on the West throw. But West is responding in kind here.
125.
Steve West is cranking that scoring up ever so gradually.
164.
No. Well, might be a good recovery here.
123. Stevie requires.
I think this guy's decent, you know. I really do.
He looks okay. He looks settled. That's 25, 66 remaining. Won't finish from there.
He got
35.
greedy. He got greedy.
You require 41.
Should have gone for the big single. It was a flying dart.
Double 12. Oh.
Game Sean, the third leg. Rettig.
Steve West has got to watch out here. This
Fourth
guy
leg,
is
Holger to throw first.
brimming with confidence
Game
now.
on.
He's got to get back to basics, get that first dart in, and pound that 60, Steve.
And he made the point earlier, didn't you, about a neat and tidy 2-dart finish there from Rettig.
That again,
They are the confidence builders.
it breeds the confidence. The more you do it, the more you think you can do it every single time. And that makes you a very dangerous player.
42.
I was going to say, West has lost his way on this visit as well. So 18 the cushion plus these.
96.
Okay.
What I do know about Steve West is that he has had a tendency to get his head down when he's put under the cosh. So what we need here is just to keep your chin up, Steve. Do what you do best. Score heavily. He should come through. But Rettig, for me, he's getting better as this match goes further.
Oozing confidence now. Just needs to maintain his focus. I said earlier about
135.
holding his throw. Easier said than done, but that was merely to stay in contention. If he holds his throw now, he's won the match.
58.
Easier said than done, though.
Easier said than done.
There's a long, long way to go.
In front of an expectant crowd. Winner of this plays Peter Wright, by the way, in the second round tomorrow.
Holger require 147.
When Peter Wright hits the stage, he's got a long, long stage to dance over. This is useful. He's going to go to 17s now, and he leaves a finish.
31.
A 1 dart, 16 left to go 3-1 in front. I didn't see this coming.
Holger requires
and I
16.
certainly didn't. Not many people did. But Holger Rettig here, 1 dart away from a 3-1 lead. He's got 2 more in hand.
Game shot
Only needs the 1.
Holger Rettig.
And it brings another cheer from the crowd who are really beginning to believe it.
And so they should. He doesn't look nervous to me.
No, he doesn't.
Looks like he's just playing in the shit.
And I think West is feeling a bit hot under the collar at the moment.
It does happen sometimes, though, when you have a debutant like Holger Rettig, and there's so much pressure on the seed. Nobody knows anything about this guy in green. So Steve goes up there with confidence, played well recently. All of a sudden, you're expected to win, and it can change you as a player.
Yeah, it changes the whole dynamic of the match, really.
43.
Is it going to be like the game we saw earlier, where he was way in front
and then
saw the line?
When the white line was there in front of him, he just couldn't finish it off. And West has found a 180 there as well.
180.
Yeah, when the finishing line is in sight, that's when it's harder to pull it off. Sometimes easier to be the hunter than the hunted.
59.
Absolutely right.
Steve's
done
81.
Something brilliant in this leg. He's just got on with it. Good guy for double 12. Double 12 it is. No messing. Best leg of the match so far.
6 leg. Holger to throw.
All right,
first.
if you think you're going to stretch this game, Holger, you're going to have to up your game now, because that was brilliant from Steve West. He's back in the match.
Yeah, what Rettig can't afford to do now, though, is lose sight of the fact that he is still in front. He has the break of throw as well under his belt. Well, but he's kicked off with a 41.
Yeah, we have a saying in darts. Good grouping. When you put 3 darts together very well, that's really a good sign of a great dart player. But they've got to be in the right segment. Well, I've given him the curse again. Grouping wasn't brilliant, and he scored 22, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, 63 scored after 6 darts. Not quite what he was after.
135.
And Steve West has pounced all over that. And there's a bit of a cushion developing here. Rettig needs to get himself back in contention. And it's another visit without a treble as well. So the momentum is swinging back in favour of the Englishman here. The 41-year-old from Epping, Steve West.
133.
I don't think he looks too bad for a 41-year-old.
He looks okay. I think I'm right in saying that. I'm pretty sure he's 41, and I'm pretty sure Rettig is 34.
140.
I'm saying no more.
It's all right, I'll have a word with Steve later on.
128.
I feel like Steve's imposing himself on this match a little. He's standing taller.
Yeah, I think, well, he is. I'm just looking at the body language as well. He's a bit of a spring in his step as he retrieves his darts from the board as well.
I'm the one that belongs here, kind of. It's my stage. Double 10.
38.
Well, he had a crack at this earlier on, and he missed it.
140.
Missed the double 10 and put it in a different country. He's not going to get a pop at it this time. But the double that he wanted to leave
54.
is now what Steve West has.
Require 20.
So, hit this one, and then we can start again. 2 5s.
Doesn't want to come inside with this first dart.
Game shot on the 6 leg. Steve West, 7th leg. Steve to throw first.
Yeah, 3 apiece.
And I know exactly what Steve West's thinking right now. It'll be, right, forget those 6 legs.
Game on.
I'll just want to win the next 3 and get off this stage. He'll know that Holger Rettig is a dangerous customer. He won't have known anything about him before he played him tonight.
95.
I'll tell you one thing, he'll know about him afterwards.
Yeah, best of 5 match now, effectively. Rettig just needs to give himself some sort of shot in the arm here, just to get back on track and just to reignite that belief that he had earlier on in the match when he was 3-1 up.
60.
Just get the feeling there may be a twist in the tail in this one.
Yeah, this one could well ebb and flow, I think.
Well, we've had a few of those today, haven't we?
Certainly have. I mean, you get that in the first round matches, I think, on the European Tour. Matches that are very difficult to call, unknown quantities, crowd get on their side, bit of momentum, bit of belief, suddenly it dissipates and evaporates, and they're very hard matches to weigh up and very hard to predict as well sometimes.
Well, for some people it comes naturally on the European Tour stage. Sometimes you have to work at it, you have to persevere, and look at Mr. Stoiker earlier on, 4th attempt and gets a win. But my God, he made hard work of it.
Yeah, and we made the point earlier as well, Schindler, Hertz and Stoiker all came into this tournament as players who'd played before on the European Tour stage but had never won a first round match. So thankfully, Stoiker at least has ended that sequence of misery. One more German player on stage tonight as well, by the way, Max Hopp, much expected of him. Once again this weekend, having made the quarterfinals in Hamburg, World Youth Champion last November, only 19. The great 54. German hope for the future.
Holger, you require 88.
Well, this is a pivotal leg all of a sudden. What's he going to do, 18? Didn't get greedy, it's a bullseye for 4-3 lead.
63.
Not a bad throwing dart either.
Steve, you require 72.
After the previous visit, which wasn't brilliant from Westy, he now has double 12, which he likes. He's going to need double 6.
66.
But doesn't get it and offers another chance to the German.
25.
Yeah, and double 3 can be awkward as well. That's assuming Rettig doesn't take this out, but he's got 2 darts at double 8. He's got 1 at double 4.
17.
And it's not enough. And Steve West will return for double 3.
6.
Now, will he be tempted to split this for 2 double 2, do you think, or will he just go for the double 3 and risk coming inside?
Depends how stubborn he feels.
Well, he's gone
Pretty
inside.
stubborn.
Now then, double 1.
Game shot in the 7th leg.
Well,
Steve West, 8th leg,
that's a hammer blow for Rettig.
Game on.
Certainly is.
He's silenced the crowd there as well.
Double 1 is the same size as all the other doubles on the outside ring of the board. And I tell you what, if you play that back, there was a little flick on the first dart, and that helped it.
7 score.
And treble 1 is as big as the treble 20 bed as well, and Rettig has found it twice there. 7 on his opening visit. And West, well, it's like Christmas has come early for him here.
100.
He really wanted to push that forward and get a 140 or a 180 to punish that 7 shot. But just goes to show, guys, even the guys who qualify for European Tour events are human.
And capable of throwing 7s with 3 darts. Makes me feel loads better actually seeing something like that. You've not seen me play darts yet, by the way.
I haven't. Maybe we will when we're finished today, or maybe sometime over the weekend.
I'll make no excuses now.
I remember a game actually at the Lakeside Championships a few years ago, and a good friend of mine, Davey Richardson, was playing against Wayne Mardle. And in that match, Davey hit 2 shots of 9. And he will hate me for bringing that up. But Wayne played brilliantly that night, averaged about 100.
100.
And was very buoyant, and that was pretty much the start of what became the Wayne Mardle show.
Yeah. Yeah, Russ just having a look over his shoulder there, or a glance over his shoulder maybe, just to see where Rettig is. He's bided his time there. And to good effect as well, because he stepped up with a treble 20, straight into the 1
81.
again. And that's the trouble for Rettig at the moment. He's just not finding any consistency with his darts.
Steve West is in control now.
Yeah. And even if he messes this up, which he has, he's still in good shape. He's left himself a Shanghai finish on 20s anyway. He's got a 190 cushion, which Rettig is eating into emphatically here.
What Steve can't do now is take his foot off the gas. If he feels like he's going to walk across the line, fair enough. But you've got to get good darts on that stage in preparation for future challenges.
Tops.
Push yourself. Because if he misses that, there is every opportunity for Holger Rettig to hit this 170 finish. Maybe not now, but he could have.
Well, the West,
58.
the way West has struggled with doubles at times, this is by no means a foregone conclusion. Let's see how he fares here. 2 more attempts at double 10.
Game shot on the
and there you
leg.
go, 5-3 he leads
Steve
now,
West,
and he's 1 leg away from
Steve
meeting
to throw
Peter Wright
first.
in the second round
Game
tomorrow
on.
here in Dusseldorf in the European Darts Open.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Steve is probably in 4th gear here. And if he wins this match 6-3 or possibly 6-4, is he going to go back to his hotel room tonight and be happy? No, he won't be. Because he wants to play really well tonight. He wants to get the victory
100.
and send a message to his next opponent. Say, you know what? I played really well. Just like he did in Vienna against Mervyn King. That all of a sudden, ears pricked up and said, ooh.
140.
Do you know how well Westy played last night?
Yeah, just to give Peter Wright, in this case, something to think about.
Absolutely
overnight.
true.
Yeah.
44.
Same goes for Holger Rettig if he was to win this match. Doesn't matter how he wins this match because nobody knows anything about him. But if he won, it would be, do you know who this guy is? Well, we know what that is. Steve West wants rid of this match and he wants rid of it in the next visit.
I think so too.
134. Steve, you require
No matter what happens
81.
now with this visit, Holger Rettig can hold his head up high. He's done very well, but it's double 16.
49.
But he will be back. He has plenty of margin for error here. And Rettig, once again, struggling for the big numbers.
Steve, you require 32.
So 3 goes at double 16 for Steve West for a place
Game
in the
shot.
second round.
And a match.
And Steve West comes through. No problem whatsoever. 3-1 down in that one, but he won 5 on the spin. And Holger Rettig, well, perhaps a lesson learned there. Take your chances when they come their way. And also a lesson from Steve West in the big stage mentality as well. Maybe we'll see Rettig again, but for the time being, it's the end of the road for him. Steve West once again through to the second round of a European Tour event. Peter Wright lies in wait tomorrow. We'll hear from Steve very shortly. A reminder on the way, Paul Nicholson's match of the night, Jamie Caven against Christian Kiss. That's coming right up.
Von Holger Rettig. Holger, du bist gut ins Match reingekommen. Wir sitzen da hinten auch neben der Kommentatorenkabine von Paul Nichols. Die sagten anfangs, der ist überhaupt nicht nervös. Das läuft gut bei dem.
Ja, durchs E-Dart bin ich ja gewohnt, aber das ist schon was anderes wie E-Dart. Also
die Kulisse, so eine Atmosphäre, das ist ein ganz anderes Match, oder?
Ja, natürlich. Ich glaube, so viel Zuschauer wie hier sind auf keinem E-Dart-Event als Teilnehmer. Also das ist Wahnsinn.
Also, eine gute Erfahrung für dich. Danke dir, schön, dass du hier dabei warst. Und bis hoffentlich bald. Holger Rettig.
Yeah, it was a little bit warm. I'm a little bit fat, unfit. The heat was a big part. Once I got over that, I was all right. I was still struggling, but it was all right. It was good.
Next one is Peter Wright.
I don't know. I don't really care, to be fair.
That's something you always say, that big names, you're not afraid of big names.
It doesn't matter who's in front of you. You've still got to win. If you want to win a tournament, you've got to beat them. That's it.
And you want to win that tournament.
Of course, I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Good to see you tomorrow again. Thank you very much. Steve West.